Hi, welcome to this video on the co-op program. During this video, we'll introduce what the co-op program is, how to obtain a co-op, the next steps after you accept a co-op, and also we'll share our experiences as co-op ambassadors and while we were working. So to start, my name is Jessica Wong. I am an industrial engineer here at RPI, and I'm a senior. I went away on co-op my sophomore year, second semester, and I worked for Estee Lauder.
Hi, my name is Sarai Lopez. I am a senior dual major in mechanical engineering and economics, and I went on co-op twice, once at the end of my sophomore year with GE Aviation and once at the end of my junior year with Schick Wilkinson Sword.
So to start off, I'm going to ask Sarai, what is the co-op?
So a co-op is pretty much like an internship except it's prolonged. So instead of going away to a 3-month internship, you actually go away for a semester and have a 7 to 8 month internship.
Okay, so who can go on co-op?
Pretty much anybody can go on co-op as long as they have finished their freshman year and have at least 12 credits left remaining in their senior year.
And so a question that I receive a lot is, what are my financial responsibilities to the university while I'm on co-op?
So while you're on co-op, you are technically considered a full-time student at Rensselaer. However, you do not have any financial responsibilities to RPI other than possibly just paying a health center fee if you are actually less than 25 miles away. And if you are less than 25 miles away, you are more than welcome to use the health center at those times.
Okay, great. So what are some of the benefits of being on the co-op program?
Definitely compensation. Co-op provides you with very competitive salaries, and you also get the opportunity to relocate to other parts of the country. A lot of the times, the co-ops are actually not going to be anywhere near RPI, so you actually get to move and see other parts of the country.
Okay. So another thing is that when you go work for a company, it's very different from the college atmosphere. What is the social aspect like when you're away on co-op?
So when you're a co-op, the companies that you're working for actually host intern social events, so you get to know the interns that are at other schools in other parts of the country. There's also a professional aspect to going on co-op because you do gain that professional experience and you also acquire hands-on technical skills.
Great. So is it true that one of your friends actually got published while she was on co-op?
Yes, one of my friends who was doing R&D, research and development, she actually managed to publish 3 papers while she was during her co-op period.
Okay, so when you're on co-op, you're actually missing school. So what if it's a concern for some students that they want to graduate on time or with their friends? How can they manage the co-op program and also graduating on time?
So if you actually want to graduate in May with all your friends, like Jess, you can actually graduate in 7 semesters as opposed to 8. This would require you that before you go on co-op, you take a look at your schedule and your classes that you have remaining. And if you're willing to take a couple more credits every semester, you could graduate in 7 semesters.
Okay, so if you don't graduate in 7 semesters and you take 8 but you go on co-op, what are the benefits and drawbacks of graduating either in May or December?
So if you decide not to graduate in 7 semesters, you will be graduating in December. However, some people don't like that because it is an off season, and a lot of the times the companies, a lot of their rotational programs actually start after May graduation. So like you could do like me, I actually decided that I wanted to experience the whole senior year. So I actually went on co-op twice and delayed my graduation by a whole year. And that's another possibility. Some people actually go on co-op for 1 whole year, which is actually a special circumstance for some majors like biomedical engineers and chemical engineers because a lot of their classes are only fall or spring semester. And if they were to go away for only 1 semester, they wouldn't be able to take those classes because of the prerequisites.
Great. So now that we're excited about the co-op program, how do we go about getting a co-op? What resources are available to RPI students?
So your first resource, and most importantly, is the CCPD. The CCPD hosts a series of workshops and events to help you look for that co-op by tailoring your resume or by even giving you mock interviews. There are also corporate info sessions that are held through the CCPD throughout campus at the beginning of the semester. And you also have to you can also make an appointment with any of the counselors at the CCPD if you cannot obtain any of these workshops or events. JobLink is also one of your primary resources because all of the companies that are going to be recruiting on campus are going to post all of their job postings on JobLink.
So what is this career fair that we've all been hearing about? Can you talk a little bit more about that and when it actually occurs?
Right. There are 2 career fairs that happen during both the fall and spring semester. The fall career fair is held by the NSB in conjunction with the SHEP. And in the spring, the CCPD actually hosts a career fair, and that is they invite companies to come and talk to the students about their opening positions for either internships, co-ops, or full-time.
So is that the only way a student can go about finding job opportunities?
Definitely not. If you're interested in a company and they happen not to come to the career fair, definitely scope out their websites. They will keep posting internships and co-ops and full-time positions there. And if you're part of any professional organization, make sure that you attend those, because a lot of the time they can refer you, and it's a really good networking.
Great. So in preparation for a co-op, what should a student do once they've accepted it?
So the first time when you're preparing for a co-op, you definitely have to decide which term you want to go on co-op. So definitely go talk to your advisor and discuss your graduation options. When do you want to graduate? Do you want to delay graduation by 1 semester? Do you want to graduate on time, or do you want to graduate 1 year later? Definitely be proactive in searching for job postings. Schedule as many interviews as you want and that you're qualified for. And then inform RPI of your co-op status. Once you've actually accepted an offer, you actually need to attend a co-op briefing and file all the necessary paperwork so that you can go away on co-op.
Is there anything else that an RPI student needs to do in preparation for co-op? For example, housing, or what if an RPI student has a meal plan? How do they go about with that?
Well, the first step is to let Rest Life know that you will be going away on co-op so that they can cancel your contract, because RPI will not automatically do that for you. Next, you have to begin looking for apartments when you're actually going to go on co-op. So definitely make sure that you join the RPI co-op page on Facebook, because a lot of people go on there to post subleases, and that way you can find each other and see what are the best areas to find a place to live.
So can you talk a little bit about the work report and what that's like? You haven't gone twice and we haven't gone once.
Yeah. So the work report is, once you finish your co-op, you actually are required to write a work report to inform the CCPD of what have you been doing while you're away on co-op. And then you actually also have to attend a co-op debriefing when you come back to campus to, again, let the CCPD know how your experience was at the co-op. However, this semester we actually implemented a new social co-op return to campus party, per se. So instead of attending the co-op debriefing, we actually hosted an event where it was just a small get-together for all the co-ops to return to campus to just network and socialize and share their experiences while they were on co-op. And if at any time you have any question and you don't know what to do about it, make sure that you consult the co-op guide, because all the steps and all the instructions are there.
Great. So now that you know a little bit more about the co-op program, we're going to share our experiences with you. So again, I was on co-op my sophomore year, second semester, so I worked for Estee Lauder from January to August, and it was a great experience. I had so much fun. I just changed my major, so to me it was not only an introduction to the professional world, but also to my major. So I really got to see the different tools that are used as an industrial engineer at a company for manufacturing of consumer goods. And one of the biggest differences that I saw, this past summer I interned for P&G, and I was out in Iowa City, and so an internship is 3 months where a co-op is 7 to 8 months. So what I really saw was that when you're at a company for 7 to 8 months, you really feel like you're part of a company. You have bigger projects because they know that you're able to complete them. You're there for a longer amount of time. And one of the best things is that you really learn about the company culture. So if you go to corporate info sessions, if you go to a company website, they'll tell you the greatest things, which it's great to know, but you really have to be immersed in the culture to understand it. So you can learn what's a good fit for you and also whether your major is a good fit. So I had such a great experience on co-op that I actually wanted to take a full year off and graduate a year late, but I decided to graduate on time so I can be with my class. So I'll be graduating this May in 7 semesters.
Like I mentioned before, I actually went on co-op twice. The first time I went on co-op was at the end of my sophomore year with GE Aviation, and I worked for the materials department. It was a very hands-on experience as I was prepping and cutting all kinds of materials by myself. It definitely helped me to see that I actually wanted a really hands-on job later when I graduated. And because I had such a wonderful experience, because like Jess said, when you're there for 8 months, you get so much more responsibility that they make you feel like you're actually part of the company. I liked my experience so much that I decided that I wanted to do another co-op and went a completely different way by going to co-op for Schick Wilkinson Sword, which makes razors. So I went from making jet engines to making razors, and it was definitely a very smooth transition. While working there, since I was working with the quality department that time, I actually got a different aspect of co-op, which is more data analysis. However, I did get to do a lot of hands-on work, but I got to see the other aspect of where the hands-on work that I was doing was going. So that because of that co-op, I actually learned that as a full-time job, I'm actually looking for manufacturing, just because from quality to manufacturing, they go hand in hand. So I would say that going on co-op will actually allow you to narrow what is it that you like or what is it that you absolutely hate. So definitely for me, going on co-op, gave me that experience because I had no idea what I wanted to do, and now I feel like I have a little bit more guidance as to where I want to be headed once I graduate. And as a kind of a plus, since I did go on co-op the second time, you do not have to write a second work report. It's kind of it's only the first time you do it.
Great. So now that you know a little bit more about the co-op program, you can feel free to go on the CCP's website or Facebook page. Also, if you have any additional questions, feel free to contact us. We'll provide our email addresses. Thanks for watching this video.
Thank you.